I am Dracula.
Hello folks, welcome back to the Graveyard Club podcast. Today we are back to talk about the war Gargantuas. Joining me today on the podcast we have Bryan, the newest mod of the Discord actually.
Hello, yes, I have reached mod status. Can't delete messages it looks like in case any scammers show up, but I'm sure we'll figure that out.
I'll fix that because Bryan has been mistaken for a mod a few times, and yeah, I kind of get it. But you just give off mod vibes, but in a good way, Bryan. But next up we have Inivisdaddy, of course.
Hello, everybody.
We have Fiend without a face, Fiend with a handsome face, I would say. And we have Mr. C, Chris, of course.
I'm not Gay Byrne, but I'm here to participate.
And we have Toyin, always here for the Kaiju episodes. And then returning on the episode, we have Sofubi Samurai. Welcome back.
How you doing? Thanks, buddy.
So, guys, look, obviously we were talking about Frankenstein Conquers the World last week, and for me, and anyway, as the movie went on, it kind of just got shittier and shittier. Look, it was a good concept, but a bad execution on the Kaiju part. I think in this movie, I think Fiend actually said it brilliantly last week, but basically this movie does what the last one couldn't. And we have more Kaiju action. The story's better, the monsters are even bigger in this one. And it just feels more like a traditional Toho movie. Of course, like...
Can I say something before we get into it?
Of course, man, go ahead.
I'm going to read something off the back of this box I got conveniently out of frame here. I want you guys to tell me which movie you think I'm talking about. Two atomic heavyweights battle for the right to destroy. Am I talking about this movie or Frankenstein vs. Baragon?
Yeah. Frankenstein vs. Baragon?
Probably Frankenstein versus Baragon.
Yeah, that's actually from the back of the box of that movie.
I wouldn't say it's accurate for either of these two.
This is War of the Gargantuas description. Why? So even the nice people at Media Blasters knew that you could be blowing your brains out with a better movie.
Wait, can we just pause for a minute and zoom in on to Fiend? I'm only have to realise now the clean shave.
Yeah, I kind of went with. Thank you, man.
Oh, Fiend has been transformed throughout the episodes. If anyone actually is noticing, but yeah, fuck me, looking good, man. But yeah, what's funny about this one though, it has a bit of a cult following. I've read even actors like Brad Pitt, director like Tim Burton,
yeah,
loves this movie. It's very random, and I read the same about the previous movie. It's weird how like out of all the Godzilla movies, these ones kind of have like a weird kind of cult.
I think this is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite movies.
Yeah. This movie actually got referenced in an episode of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Complete with, including the song that's sung.
Oh no.
Yeah. What a song it is.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about that. I'd love to play that song on the podcast, but I feel like Toho would get that.
No, I think you can play it. I'd be shocked if they... they might. They actually might.
I think the words might get stuck in our throats if Toho finds out.
It's so bad. I at G-Fest maybe 10 years ago, I used to work in the dealer's room. So as we were setting up, they would have a microphone that they would pass around, and I would take it and I would play that song on my phone, but I'd play it through the microphone. So it was going through the PA system of the entire dealer's room. So it was like inescapable. I used to do it every year. I would play it. It's unbelievably bad. Oh, just her voice is. Whew.
For a filler scene in a Toho movie, though, I actually think I don't mind it too much. I like the singing is not the best. Obviously, the song's a bit annoying. I love the little scene of the band, and I love how it kind of incorporates then the monster coming in from behind.
Yeah.
Speaking about the monsters, though, like This is what I wanted to like. This I watched the English dub of this one, and as I said, there's not really many toys with the Frankenstein monster, at least from what I've seen. So it's kind of random. Like out of nowhere, they're just talking about Gargantuas as if they were a normal thing. I wish the English dub kept that Frankenstein connection, because we're doing. Oh, go ahead, man.
Or what I was going to say is the reason why they didn't do the connection to the previous one was because that movie didn't do well stateside. And Saperstein was like, okay, I guess we probably shouldn't make reference to that film. But there is a reference in the English cut when Russ Tamblyn is on the elevator that he's having a conversation with a gentleman, and he mentions, we still have no idea where that hand came from. That is reference to the hand that was like still living and crawls off and dies in the last movie.
Yeah.
Huh. I did not catch that at all. Because I haven't seen this movie in a long time, so I was wondering where. I actually forgot there was no Frankenstein connection, and they're just throwing the word around Gargantua as if everyone knows what they are. And well, so speaking about the look, I want to try to get a picture up here, maybe to show to the audience when they're viewing this. But like the look of the creatures in this one, Toho could have almost made like a Sasquatch, Bigfoot, kaiju movie, and couldn't like name it something else. Like I think that would have been a cool idea.
I think Gyra, the green one, is even referred to as something similar in a GMK. No, wait, not GMK. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla.
Yes, there's a shot of him in that movie.
Jesus.
There's also,
these double features just trip you up.
Yeah, they're talking about other kaiju that have attacked Japan in the past, and there's a shot of him.
Oh, you're talking about Final Wars?
No, it's in the first of the '90s Mechagodzilla movie.
No, the Millennium.
Yeah.
I thought it was in.
The
2000. Because I know they show like clip from it from in the opening of Final Wars in that same context.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I avoid Final Wars as much as possible.
There's a lot of stock footage in Final Wars. The only one that really stands out to me is the one of Varen, because that was my introduction to him, and that clip from Godzilla vs. Destroyer.
Oh, at the very end where Godzilla's resurrected or whatever.
Godzilla Jr. is brought back to life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they were trying to go like stealth sequel and imply that's who it's supposed to be, but I don't know. It could have just been a random clip being used.
I think it was just meant to be random.
There is a Toho Yeti Sasquatch movie called Half Human, but it's
that like
yes,
it's basically lost media at this point.
Infamously racist, if I'm...
Yeah, so Toho has basically like expunged it from their filmography. And then there is an American cut. That's the American version is called Half Human. I think John Carradine is inserted into the American version, if I'm not mistaken. It basically only uses a little bit of the Japanese footage. The Japanese version is long lost. It is an awesome Yeti costume, though. Considering that it was made in like 1956 or something like that.
We should probably do some Yeti films at some point. We could talk about the Primevals.
There's multiple Primevals. I remember seeing one of them.
The Primevals I'm talking about is the stop motion film that was being made in the 90s and then didn't get a release until a few years ago.
Let's do the real Yeti movie. Let's do the dinosaur and the missing link.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I was looking up at
with a more obscure reference.
I was looking at some of the working titles for this movie, and like, thank God, like in fairness, like they would have made a little bit more sense for the movie, but we like the Frankenstein brothers, don't think that has much of a ring to it compared to War of the Gargantuas.
I mean, technically speaking, in the original novel, there are 3 Frankenstein brothers, but that doesn't fit in here at all.
No. And like, as I said, like, this meant to be the month of Frankenstein, and we've just went further and further away from the source material, which I believe we're ending next week with the Mary Shelley's one, which is meant to be the closest one to the source material, so that'd be okay. But
second closest after the Hallmark miniseries.
Second closest. But this one, as if you watch the English dub, it's based not a Frankenstein movie, but since the Japanese is completely different in a way with the connections, it does count, and that's what we're talking about. Would everyone agree this is overall heaps better than the previous one?
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Absolutely.
Because what let the last one down for me, it didn't feel like a typical kaiju movie. It didn't have enough like destruction or anything like this. This movie amps it up. The first scene in this movie is great with the bow. We get the giant squid, and then the first Gargantua, fuck's sake, coming up out of water. Straight away, it's into some action. But have you noticed in this one, you don't really slow down the monsters? Not how in a lot of Godzilla movies, they're kind of slowed down when they're crashing through buildings. Well, some of the times. In this one, it feels like they're sped up at times. They don't... I noticed when the 2 Gargantuas were fighting, they seemed like they were going at like a normal pace, if you know what I mean, human pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fight scenes aren't undercranked like they do with the other stuff, and the suits were very, very flexible. Haru Nakajima said this is his favorite role that he did for Toho, and he was Godzilla from 54 to 72. So, but he really loved playing the Green Gargantua.
Yeah, like to talk a little bit more about the suits though. As I said, yeah, they were Sasquatch kind of like designs. I wouldn't have minded a little bit of like maybe one monster looking a little bit different to the other, like pretty much identical. Which they are brothers in the movie, we find out, but they're 2 completely different colors. I don't know. I would have been cool to see maybe one of them look a little bit different. But
yeah. One's green, one's brown. The green one is from the sea. If you actually look at the suits, like the green one has like scales, like something that would be under the sea, as well as the fur, where the other one's more just like skin and fur. And he has fangs, obviously. He's got I think he has pointier ears than the brown Gargantua too.
And like it's pretty much the Green Gargantua's movie for the first, like, I'd say almost 2/3 of the movie, which is great because like the 2 Gargantuas are different to each other. There's good and evil, I suppose you could say, which is the dynamic of the movie.
Yeah, I guess it's implied that the brown one was the young one that they had found in that flashback with that goofy little kid Gargantua.
Yeah.
That's like, was he watching TV or something?
Looked like a little Ewok from Star Wars.
yeah, he's like a
George Lucas had a hand in this movie.
It's like a little,
well,
it's freak.
It's funny. You all know I have an interest in foreign remakes. There's, I think, a sequel to essentially a Japanese Star Wars, and we're talking long before Star Wars Visions made this official, but basically unofficial Japanese Star Wars movie. There was a sequel, and the answer to Chewbacca was literally an ape man.
Makes sense.
Interesting. I was gonna say, like, the fur on the Green Gargantua looks kind of like seaweed or moss.
Yeah,
he's like a
because
lives in the water. He has gills. So yeah, which is cool. He eats people, which is not a typical Toho monster activity.
I mean, Godzilla almost ate a cow. Literally almost had a cow.
Yeah, this movie definitely has a bit of an edge to it being mid-60s Toho.
Yeah.
Definitely has a little bit of an edge. Like, one of my... it has to be most people's favourite scene, the airport scene.
Oh, yeah.
That's fantastic. I love... Shiro Honda does be a little bit hit and miss with the way he scales sometimes. Most of the time he's good. In this movie, I thought it works very well. You can get like the sense that these joints are like three, maybe 400 feet tall. There is some kind of really, really outdated looking effects. I don't know if anyone ever copped that at the airport scene where we see him from behind the building. It looks bad, obviously, but like, that airport scene was pure carnage. That is probably one of my favorite scenes.
The monsters are smaller, so that the models and the buildings and everything can have more detail because the scale is much smaller. So the buildings and things like that are able to be built at a bigger scale. So everything is nicer. Like I like them when they don't tower over the buildings, like they're throwing each other into the buildings. They're stuff like that. The fighting is really creative in this movie, and the suits being flexible give them the ability to really actually like tussle. And it's not just when Godzilla throws like punches or it's kind of choreographed. This is like they're really throwing each other through buildings and slamming each other on the ground and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it comes back to my point where I feel like the fighting is real. It's normal pace. It's not slowed down like the maybe traditional Godzilla movies are, but it's a bit more lumbering. They're throwing like actual legit fighting moves. They're slamming each other through buildings, as you said, Sofubi. So I feel like they have to get creative with two humanoid monsters like that because they're not spitting fire. There's no kind of powers, so they really have to get creative with this. And I think they successfully did it. To be honest with you, like the fight scenes in this one is amazing. To be honest, I was just especially like when the Green Gargantua is running back out to the sea. He's running at full pace. If you've seen that in real life,
hauling ass to the sea, yeah.
If you've seen that in real life, that would be terrifying. Something moving that quick.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it harks back because they did kind of the same thing with Godzilla Raids Again. If you look at the way they fight in that movie, they're sped up.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stories about that. Some people, say that it was unintentional and that one of the 3 camera people had forgot to undercrank their camera.
It didn't look good.
And that's why that footage looks like that, and that Tsuburaya thought that it looked neat and kept it in there, because Tsuburaya will keep things in his movies just because he thinks it's neat. Like I wasn't on last week, but I'm assuming last week when you talked about Frankenstein Conquers the World, you talked about that horse that is so obviously a puppet in the scene where Baragon first appears. And they were like, why don't you just film a real horse and just insert it into the shot? And Tsuburaya's answer was, because this is funny. So like he would do things not like, that's just a Japanese mindset of like, this is funny or this is creative or this is artistic. Who cares if it looks like a real horse? So I think a lot of that you can apply to any of these movies, and just you have to look at it through that lens of like, it's just a cultural thing too. It's not so much like, I don't care that this doesn't look real. It's neat. It's visually interesting in some other way. So I personally think that horse is fucking hysterical in that scene. It's so fake.
I'm now going to have to try to find the horse because even I missed the horse.
Oh, yeah. It's the scene where Baragon first appears. He eats all the chickens and he's got the chicken feathers coming out of his mouth.
Oh, my God.
And there's a quick shot of a horse in a barn, and the horse is like freaking out because Baragon is near. And it is the most obvious horse puppet you've ever seen in your life. It's so funny.
I'm going to have to. I might have to try. I'm going to find it. I'm going to get a screen recording of it, and then that's just gonna be a meme in the group now.
You could probably just go to YouTube and enter it in as like a search for like Frankenstein Conquers the World horse, and it'll probably pop up as like a 10-second clip.
There it is.
Yeah.
Well, after the airport scene, this is where we do get the filler part of the movie. The words get stuck in my throat. A little filthy beat off it, to be honest with you. It's monotonous kind of singing, but I feel for a filler scene in one of these movies, I think it sets up for when the monster kind of goes through the city. I thought it was pretty good. I'm actually gonna try get it up here.
Does he eat her? I can't. It's been a while since I've seen it.
No, he drops her. He drops her.
He drops her.
He drops her.
Yeah.
Yes.
She should have got stuck in his throat.
Yeah, that would have been funny if she got stuck in his throat.
Another funny scene that I do like as well, actually, I think happens before this one, is when it's when the yellow. Actually, no, I suppose we're not near it yet, but just to say what I have her here, the yellow Gargantua brings the green one to safety. The green one's sitting down, and the yellow one picks up a tree and gives him a whack with it. I'm gonna put all these clips in the post-production.
When he hits him with the tree. Yeah.
Excellent saying. But yeah, the words get stuck in my throat bit. Like some of these Godzilla just have weird little numbers throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And I quite like them. I don't prefer this. I prefer the King Caesar theme song.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I prefer the psychedelic fish head sequence from.
Oh god, dude, that's the best.
Yeah.
I love the fact that all I had to say was psychedelic fish head. So the movie was like, all right, I already know what movie he's talking about.
We absolutely need to do that movie on this. That'd be like a 2-hour episode. That movie is just unbelievable from start to finish. So
There's a lot to unpack with that one.
yeah, there really
I mean, it's on the list.
It's like an onion.
It's in the dinosaurs category on the Google Doc. If we were to do everything in that category, it would take months.
Well, whenever when is Earth Day every year? We should do
April.
whatever week.
April.
Yeah, whatever week Earth Day falls in,
22nd?
we should do
April
Godzilla versus
22nd?
Hedorah. Yeah. So next April we should do Godzilla versus Hedorah for Earth Day.
Yeah, I also want to do the Moses miniseries from 1995, which featured Christopher Lee as Ramesses
That'd be a good
in
one.
April.
So he's played 2 Egyptians?
What do you guys think of Tamblyn over Nick Adams? Man, I love Nick Adams in
This movie
Frankenstein Conquers the World, and I love him in Monster Zero. And I think Russ Tamblyn is. I mean, well, he's dubbed in this movie, but he's just
Sadly.
he's just going through the motions.
I think I might like Tamblyn a bit more that's because I'm a bit more familiar with his work than Nick Adams. He was, of course, in Samson and Delilah back in 1949. He was in Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. He was in West Side Story. He was in The Haunting.
I mean, this is a big step down from him being in West Side Story to flying over to Japan and being in, the Frankenstein Brothers Trash Tokyo. So.
Yeah.
I think the funniest there was something I read about this. Originally, Tab Hunter was supposed to play Tamblyn's role, and he had to bow out, and that's why they got Tamblyn. And I think we're all sitting here like, why can't it just be Nick Adams?
Yeah, Nick Adams, dude,
because this movie,
Nick Adams put his all into. Yeah, it wasn't. He didn't treat any of the. He did 2 Toho movies. He didn't treat either one of them like they were beneath him. And Tamblyn definitely comes off as like, this is so beneath an actor of my caliber.
It's funny because watching the American cut, knowing like they went in, they refilmed scenes while they had done, the movie. So like if you watch the Japanese cut, there's the scene on the boat where they go to the wreckage and they find just the clothes of all the sailors and whatnot. And in the Japanese cut, it's just, it's the investigators and it's the people there. But in the American cut, because it's all re-edited, they put Tamblyn in the movie, and he was like on the set, and he just looks like they just put him in the scene, never gave him any direction. He just looks like he's so disinterested in being at that whole boat. He seems very disinterested in general in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
Big time, yeah.
He really like talked down about this movie for a long time until he got invited to a festival. It may have been G-Fest. And they showed it, and he's like, that was the first time I really sat down and watched it in years, and it's actually really good. And it's like, well, yeah, because you're at a festival where you're like one of the guests of honor.
Honored.
Yeah, I'm glad you think it's good now. 45 years or whatever it was after it came out.
it's kind of the best way to describe this movie, as I had said in the last episode, it does everything better than how the previous film treats its material. Like, everyone blaming the Gargantua on the Brow Gargantua, Sanda, on the acts of Gyra. That's done better than Baragon being, basically framing Frankenstein. Yeah. It's done significantly better. It's like, hey, we have seismic activity here. He's learning to use a shovel. Shit! Yeah,
and I love Baragon, and I like Frankenstein versus Baragon, or Frankenstein Conquers the World, but Baragon isn't a logical monster for that movie. Like, these two monsters make sense together to fight each other, and Baragon is just a Godzilla stand-in, because it was originally going to be Godzilla. So,
there's an episode of the Incredible Hulk television series with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno where the Hulk fights another Hulk, and I feel like
that is not Abomination.
No, but it's just basically another guy who ended up turning into another Hulk, and you of course see something like that here, and basically sometimes we just want to see two monsters of the same kind go up against each other.
Yeah, exactly. But what I was going to say is this movie is to Frankenstein versus Baragon what Mothra versus Godzilla was technically to the original Mothra movie. Because the characters in Mothra vs. Godzilla are basically the same characters from the last movie. They're just renamed or whatever.
Yeah. Because Kumi Mizuno could essentially be playing the same character. Mm-hmm. And maybe if they could have gotten Nick Adams back, they would have played the same characters. I don't know. I don't know why Nick Adams isn't just in it. It's not like he wasn't. I don't think he was busy. Like, I don't know. I mean, his star had fallen. He was starring in movies in Japan. So, they do. Toho has their stock characters, because they were still in that studio system at the time where they just had actors that worked under them, and they were in all of their movies, and they were always different characters. But Kumi Mizuno is essentially playing that exact same role in this movie as she did in the other one. Although in Frankenstein Conquers the World, she's a lot stronger of a character. I feel like she doesn't need Nick Adams to necessarily rescue her like she needs rescuing in this movie. So
what's the guy's name? Russ. That was a phoned in performance in this movie.
Yeah.
But it was that phoned in. Like, he kind of has one of them faces that you want to hit.
He's a hate the face guy.
Yeah. Without being too violent here, he does have that kind of face, and he almost makes it work. It reminds me of another actor as well, Jack something. I forget the name of the more of a newer actor. Kind of reminds me of, but I didn't mind him in it. He's not like the guy in the previous one, obviously, but I don't know, I liked it. To talk a little bit. Oh, sorry, go ahead, man.
Russ Tamblyn was actually a veteran acrobat. If the role allowed for him to do some more acrobatics, I feel like he would have, done better than what he actually ended up having to do.
Yeah, acrobats make everything better. And anyway, but the monster does kind of make its way to the mountains, I suppose, and this is where the military get involved. And so it's kind of like a back and forth between the doctors and the military that you want, like the Gargantua saved and this and that. So the military come up with a laser, and this is a fucking great scene where the lasers are kind of ripping through the trees.
Yeah, man.
I keep forgetting that this is all miniature sets only at some points of the movie now, in fairness, but there's some great shots here. Not to be too prude or anything, but if you look at them lasers, they almost kind of look like Mechagodzilla's genitalia.
Yeah, they're called maser cannons, and I believe they were originally. I believe this is the first
It is.
instance of them
Yeah.
in a Toho movie. They were in the Mysterians. They used a similar laser called a Markalite, but this is the first use of the masers. And that scene that you talk about where they shoot the trees is used in stock footage in at least 2 other Godzilla. It's used in Godzilla versus Megalon and Godzilla versus Gigan, because you can't see the monster that they're shooting at in that specific scene, so they just interchange it in both of those movies as well. But yeah, the maser cannons are awesome. That's a Toho staple going forward.
I actually don't even mind using the stock footage there because that was incredible. Like, that was incredible.
It's an awesome scene.
Yeah, and that this comes out to be the weakness of the Green Gargantua, and it gets to the point where you pretty much immobilize them, and the brown one comes out of nowhere and kind of saves the day. And the brown one kind of brings the green one like away to safety, and kind of looks back at the military as if the green one hasn't killed about 10,000 people in the movie so far.
Well, he doesn't have the access to the TV like he did in Russ Tamlin's lab.
Yeah.
So
He quickly realizes that the green one's a jackass, though.
Yeah.
I think, isn't it found? Doesn't he like find a pile of clothes and he realizes he's been
and he's
eating?
like, yeah. That's when isn't that when he hits him with the tree, right? When he sees all the discarded clothing and stuff from him eating all the people.
If it's not Kong trying to shove a tree down someone's throat, it's a Gargantua hitting another Gargantua with a tree.
Yeah, it's played straight, but it's so funny. Like, like even at the time, it had to have been pretty amusing.
This was that horse sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just the entire concept of it is just fun. The airport scene, him just running across the airport is it's a funny scene. It's well done and everything. It's not fun. It's not funny because the effects are bad. It's just funny because the visual of it is funny. And him running away from the sun, at full blast into the ocean is funny. So him spitting out that woman's clothes after he eats her is pretty funny.
Before we talk about the end, and since I only watched the English dub, can anyone hear that saying all of them tell me like the actual difference between them? Or is it just the Frankenstein connection at the start?
It's been years since I've watched the Japanese one, so if somebody else has seen it.
I can do that since I've watched both of them today. Really, other than the Frankenstein connection that we just talked about, like we don't know where that hand actually still came from. That's the only connection to Frankenstein Conquers the World that's found in the English dub. And like I said, they reshot a lot of sequences. They re-edited it a little bit. Otherwise, it's basically the same movie. There's just a couple of scenes where Russ Tamblin's just disinterested, just kind of looking around at everything else while everyone's focused on something else.
Yeah, I think bringing in Henry Saperstein, he had as a producer, like he understood what an American audience would want, and I don't think they had to go around and really change a lot once these movies came over here, because he knew how to keep American audiences engaged, and so. That's probably why there's not a big difference, and also for budgetary reasons. As you get further into the 60s and especially into the 70s, these movies start to come over more or less exactly as they're filmed, because it's just not cost effective to re-edit and add actors and reshoot things, and for basically a movie that's going to be in the drive-in and then go straight to TV, which is why this movie's so popular with people like Guillermo del Toro and Tarantino, and because it was on TV all the time. They were 10, and it was probably on every 3 months.
And not to, we every Godzilla Toho review that we've been doing, the Monsterverse gets brought up, probably mostly by me. But at the start, one of the first directors, I forget his name, Adam Wingard, maybe, I think, one of the first Godzilla directors actually had interest of bringing the Gargantuas into the MonsterVerse. I couldn't see that working at all in the current MonsterVerse.
Yeah, because they're not that big. You'd have to make them ridiculously big. I mean, again, it goes back to that scale thing we talked about, where all the monsters are way too big, and they're not scary. The Gargantuas aren't as scary if they're scary because they can pick you up and eat you. You know, and if they're 500 feet tall, it just loses something.
Yeah.
You know, they can't pick up an individual person and eat them. You know,
of course, we return to the original King Kong, the novelizations. I mean, his height in the original film is always a bit inconsistent, but going by the novelization, he's about 20 feet tall. It's not too big, it's not too small, but
just right.
But then you have later adaptations making him exaggeratedly large, and I think it really started to become a problem with Toho.
Well, that's what I liked about Toho's Kong. He was ridiculously big. I thought that was cool.
Even compared to Godzilla and Toho's Kong, all the Toho monsters, the Gargantuas would still be considerably smaller.
Yeah.
They would be like Jet Jaguar in the Save the Earth game when he shrinks down to just small enough to be fat.
Yeah, like knee height or waist height, maybe.
Then I do wonder, like, if Godzilla was meant to be the monster in this movie, were they going to shrink Godzilla or make the
that was in the Frankenstein movie. Yeah, they were gonna. There were a bunch of reasons why he wasn't in that movie. I don't know if scale was one of them. It was more that they were turning him into a good guy at that point anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess Baragon kind of got substituted in, which is cool. I like Baragon. He's a cool monster. Underused. I'd like to see Baragon in a MonsterVerse movie before I'd like to see the Gargantuas.
I think we need to see Angerus in a MonsterVerse movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a skeleton.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they have not brought him into a... That's licensing, though, because it's cheaper for them to create their own monsters than it is for them to license anything from Toho, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've lost faith with that MonsterVerse, to be honest. Once I seen the pink evolved Godzilla, I wasn't a fan of that. Like, to make Godzilla kind of like skinny around the rib cage, and I don't know, like it was I suppose it was a cool idea, and it separates themselves a little bit more from what Toho has been doing, but
it's basically just a recolored burning Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Destroyer, but I feel I must quote the late Prince Philip, it's just take the fucking picture.
It's not a good design. Those movies aren't good. I'll be there on opening night for the next one, but they're not good.
You're braver than I am. I would not be there at all. The only way I would ever be there is to be outside that theater, being like Tupac from the movie Notorious, just screaming at the theater for showing the movie.
What I did like about this movie, though, the ending. The ending is good. A lot better than the previous one. The monsters kind of make their way out to the beach, and they're picking up big ship boats, which is a lovely scene. One of them cracks the other one in the back while they're in the water. And I did forget to mention, like, they stopped kind of bombing them, and they went to using napalm, and they basically throw so much napalm into the ocean, causes some sort of kind of volcanic eruption. I don't know what pretty much burns the two Gargantuas to death. Well, we don't know if they die, but yeah, that's what we're meant to assume.
It's kind of the same ending as Frankenstein Conquers the World, right? Like, just monsters fighting, volcano erupts, Earth opens up, monsters get swallowed. It's kind of like we don't really know how to end this fight, so how about they just both get swallowed by the Earth?
Because
it works better in this than it's very abrupt in Frankenstein Conquers the World. It's abrupt in this one too, but I feel like in Frankenstein Conquers the World, it's really like, okay, guess they're both dead.
Not dead enough since the Frankenstein monster cells landed in the water and the forest became the Gargantuas.
That's right. What came first, the Gargantuas or the Frankenstein?
Makes me
The
think.
beating heart.
The
Makes
beating
me
heart,
think if we
that's
did
right.
get a third
Beating
movie
heart.
of this one, would they do something crazy? I wonder was there any ideas for a sequel for this one?
I don't know. I'd have to look. There's
Yeah.
some really good books called Kaiju Unmade that John LeMay wrote, and he writes about a lot of unfilmed Toho movies. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had an idea at some point to bring them back in some way. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, it's going to take a while, so we're going to get into ratings. Bryan, tell the folks what you liked about the movie and give us a rating.
I'm definitely going to give it a 5. Vastly superior to Frankenstein Conquers the World. I like the designs of the monsters. I like that giant octopus that was in the original ending for Frankenstein Conquers the World.
Was that real or was it a fake one? It wasn't really.
It was fake. I liked the battle scenes. I liked the special effects. Just a good film all around.
What was your favorite scene?
I think when Santa realizes Guy was not such a good guy and just starts the battle against him.
So the tree scene.
Yes.
And what would your rating be?
A 5.
Oh,
It's vastly superior to Frankenstein Conquers the World. Which, as if you remember last week, I gave a 3.
yeah, I gave one similar. Yeah, it really deserved a trade. Thinking of it, but yeah, good ratings. And anyway, Bryan. Next up we have Fiend. What about you, man?
As I said last week, if Frankenstein vs. Baragon is a 2, I would have to put this one at a 4.5 because it's only ruined by Russ Tamblyn. Otherwise, otherwise 5. It does, like I said, like I think we all said now, everything is done significantly better in this film than what was done in the previous film. And as for my favorite scene, it's probably that opening.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or the scene with the baby Gargantua in the that flashback, just because of how funny it is.
So you gave it a 4.5, Fiend? Yeah.
No, I'll up it to a 5. Just Russ Tamlin's bad. He's not the worst part about it. It's still a good movie, even with or without him.
Inivisdaddy, what about you, man?
This is a 5 for me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I love this movie. Grew up loving this movie. They used to play it on TBS all the time in the 80s, so I watched this a lot as a kid. And again, as a kid, I had no idea this was a sequel to anything, let alone a Frankenstein movie. I just thought it was its own thing. I just freaking love this movie. I love the way the monsters look. I love the smaller scale than the regular Toho movies. I love everything about it. My favorite scene's probably at the end when they run into the underground shopping center,
Mm-hmm.
and the Green Gargantua's outside, trying to get to them. I really like the way that scene is shot. Yeah, man, easy 5 for me.
Sweet, man, sweet. Chris, what about you?
I'll go 4 as to what parts that I really enjoy. I like, of course, the fight choreography, and then trying to figure out how did they get there, working backwards. Was it more in the concept of here's an acting choice to move this way inside the suit, or was it more a byproduct of fight choreography and stunt work, and like so how did they get to what was put on film? Yeah, and let me say my scale for this is completely different than my Universal movie scale. But I mean, definitely, like the battle doesn't get any bigger than this, and so definitely the physical conflict between the two was pretty special, pretty enjoyable.
Well put, Chris. But you did ruin the clean slate that we were going for here with the 5 out of 5 spot. No worries, man. Zontarr.
Edit me out. Edit me out.
Zontarr, what about you, man?
I'm here. Had a lot of connection problems. I'll go 4. Russ Tamlin really turns me off in this one. But I love the Mazers. I'm a huge Mazer fan. It was nice to see the introduction of them. Of course, the fight choreography and the airport scene in the beginning, fantastic. And I love the way these guys run with their arms out. Fantastic.
Of course, man. And Sofubi Samurai, what's your ratings, man?
I'm gonna go with a 4.5 on this one because I would probably rate Frankenstein a 3. So yeah, 4.5 on this one. It's just fun. It's just silly. So, I love the opening sequence with the tentacles in the boat, and then his creepy face in the water is awesome. And then the airport scene is great, and the Mazers, that scene that you mentioned with where they're blasting through those trees, which is a brief scene, but it's just super cool. So, all around, really dig this movie.
Well, I thought I was going to be the only one to mention that underwater scene where we see the Gargantua's face. That is actually probably one of my favourite scenes, along with the airport. The whole complete airport part of the movie is amazing to me. It's actually could be up there with the best of the Toho Godzilla. Just complete fucking carnage. I love how this movie has a bit of an edge to it. And I'm gonna go with the majority here. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 because I think it ticks most boxes. The human story was quite intriguing. It was quite basic now, but it was nice. It was nice to go along with the monster action. To compare this one to last week, we really only got one fight with Baragon and Frankenstein near the end of the movie, and that's when they both kind of died. That's why I really hate the end of that movie, because it's like they're only fighting for 5 minutes. They only really run into each other like for so long until they're gone. With this one, we kind of see a bit of a struggle throughout the movie, and it would have been like, to review the English dub, it would have been nice to see some sort of more Frankenstein connection, especially because we are reviewing Frankenstein movie, so it would have been nice. And I think I don't know. I don't, like Fiend said earlier, like they done it for a reason, because the last movie didn't perform very well over in the US. But I don't know. I think that was still a bigger risk to take than just playing it safe and connecting it to a bit of Frankenstein. Some sort of Frankenstein connection story, because Frankenstein is obviously big in the States. So I don't know. I think they took a bigger risk not doing any Frankenstein connection, and just like people are throwing the word Gargantua around like it's a normal thing in this movie. I feel like it's almost like there's a few deleted scenes in this one where there was a connection, which I suppose is the truth. But it is the truth, but you can definitely see it in the English dub, and it's kind of a little bit disjointed, a little bit, because we don't really get much background.
I would probably say this in the Japanese version. They refer to the monsters as Frankenstein.
Yeah.
As Frankenstein. So
that would have been so much better.
But yeah.
I feel like that would have been so much better. I would have gave this movie a 5.5 if they were called Frankenstein. I don't know. It's just cool. Like it's like a spawn off Frankenstein, and they grow gigantic. I like the idea that where the English dub, they're just called Gargantuas. And even to the point that we don't even see their name, Sanda or Garia. They're not even called that. They're just called Brown and Green in this movie. in the English dub. But
Yes, and obviously the sequel would include red Gargantua, blue Gargantua, pink Gargantua, grey Gargantua.
exactly.
And they'll form
Turquoise
up into one
Gargantua.
giant Gargantua.
I'm interested.
One
about this.
Gargantua, two Gargantua, red Gargantua, blue Gargantua.
I'm interested
I
to
would be
see. Sorry, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say I would be remiss if I didn't show. I have a few Gargantuas in my collection. So I have the M1 brown, and the M1 green. These guys glow in the dark, so they're fun. And then I have a couple of marmots. I have the marmot brown, and the marmot green, which is great.
Who's the manufacturer? Which company made those? Sofub?
These are marmot, and the other two are M1.
Those are sick.
M1 also has a set that I have not gotten my hands on, where it's the same figures, but they have the heads are off, and it's the actors' heads, which are awesome. But I've not been lucky enough to come across those. So
Yeah, this picture I'm about to post is a bit late, but we were talking about scale. Check out this clay Kong model that you can make. You find it in the book Monsters and Extraterrestrials.
They put it in the main chat.
Arts and yeah. I mean, yeah, I should probably put that in live show group chat or whatever. But yeah, take a look at this and look at the boat Kong is holding.
I'm more concerned as to why his eyes looking in two different directions.
Well, if we know anything about the Toho Kong, he's always drugged and poisoned and all. So
there's a lot of Toho, non-Godzilla Toho sci-fi that's really, really fun. A lot. The Mysterians that I mentioned before, Battle in Outer Space, the H-Man, Varan is pretty fun. Maybe not Varan. Latitude Zero is one of my favorites. That's a great movie. The Human Vapor is really fun. Human Vapor actually was just done as a Netflix 8-part series. It was a remake. It's really good. The Netflix series is really good. So yeah, I mean, Toho did a lot of fun non-Godzilla, non-kaiju.
Would you consider Atragon pretty good?
Yeah, I like Atragon. Matango is actually incredible. Yeah, there's a lot. So
I'll have to give both a watch.
Matango is definitely worth a watch. It's more of a psychological horror movie. It's about a ship. It's a shipwreck. They get stranded on this island, and there's these mushrooms, and there's a previous shipwreck, and there's a warning to do not eat these mushrooms. And of course, as it progresses, they all go kind of mad and they start eating the mushrooms. It's excellent. It's really, really good.
They laugh like this. I'm not sure of impression. They sound like Baltian.
I just shared the link to of that book on the Internet Archive if anyone wants to take a look at the other things you can make. Besides a clay Kong with an abnormally big Kong, imagine him just picking up a boat. If he was big enough to just raid out and pick up the venture, that would have been so much different.
One thing I want to talk about is the physical release of this movie. I'm certain it's not on Blu-ray. How's it got a DVD release? I know it's not on Blu-ray, but I'm trying to find copies of this.
DVD's old as hell. That's the DVD you showed, Fiend. It's man, I want to say that came out 2008.
Yeah,
10, maybe.
Let me see if I can find it, because I do have.
That's Media Blaster. Does Media Blasters even exist anymore?
I actually looked them up relatively recently. I think they have some production, but they're not as big. But War of the Gargantuas, the copy I have was a double feature that Classic Media put out. It was with Rodan. And this came out.
Oh yes, you're right. I was thinking of the Frankenstein Conquers the World that you showed.
Yeah,
That's
Media
Blasters
Blasters did Frankenstein Conquers the World.
Yeah, the War of the Gargantuas is in a 2-pack with Rodan, and I haven't rewatched my DVD of that in a while, but the Rodan DVD I did rewatch recently, and the Jesus Christ, the picture quality on that DVD is horrific. Like it desperately needs a re-release. I would assume War of the Gargantuas isn't much better. I think it's streaming on like HBO Max though.
I want to say I know it's on Tubi.
Yes, it's definitely on Tubi. But I'm a proponent of physical media. It's unfortunate that is, I think, the only version of it, and you're probably only going to find it like on eBay. Toho is slowly releasing all of their stuff on 4K in Japan. And I think they're finally realizing that the US is a viable market to put out their movies and put out products. And I wouldn't be surprised if they started releasing 4K stuff in the US like a year or 6 months after it's out in Japan. They won't do it at the same time, but
we won't even get a commentary. We'll just get in a slight interview with someone, and then they can't give us any special features.
Yeah.
At least Shin Godzilla had the cool it had the cool deleted scene that referenced H.P. Lovecraft. What did we get? We got an interview and a trailer.
Yeah.
I think Toho's sitting on a dime not releasing like a streaming service.
Yeah. Pluto TV. I don't know if anybody has Pluto TV. It's a free streaming service, kind of like Tubi. And for about a year and a half, they had a streaming Godzilla channel that I just kept on at all times.
Oh, yeah.
I would just come home from work and just put it on, and it would just be on. And I miss it being on. And yes, and War of the Gargantuas was one of the movies that they've had in their rotation.
They did a lot of like the monster movies, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone watching anything good recently?
Well, I watched the first half of the Moby Dick miniseries from 1998 today.
Is that the same people that done the Odyssey that we watched?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it good?
It has Patrick Stewart as Ahab.
I watched Hand of Oak Street.
Ahab. That already sounds pretty good.
The Jason and the Argonauts one of that, Bryan, looks amazing as well. The Hallmark.
I saw the End of Oak Street over the last weekend.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
That was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
Was it actually good? Yeah, because
yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was a throwback to I don't know how old you all are, but in the 80s there would be movies you would go to see with your family that were family friendly movies. That you were always probably too young to be seeing, and this is definitely a throwback to that. It's shockingly violent.
The PG 80s movie where a titty shows up.
Yeah, and it was just like like Raiders of the Lost Ark, where you're like, what? But yeah, with the violence and stuff. But yeah, it was fun. I liked it, and then I just rewatched The Fly, the 86 version of The Fly, because we are putting out on my podcast. We're doing an episode for the 40th anniversary of The Fly. The Fly might be I don't want to go off on a tangent, but The Fly might be the best horror movie ever made. It's fucking incredible. It's
one of the best horror movies Mel Brooks ever made.
Yeah, I know, crazy, right?
Yeah,
dude. I stand by it that the last 5 minutes of The Fly are it's so incredibly good. It's just, oh god, that movie's fucking great.
Have you ever seen the sequel, The Fly 2?
Eric Stoltz.
Son of the Fly with Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, Eric.
I try not to lump it in with because The Fly's so good. It's just, I feel like it should just stand alone by itself.
It's perfect on its own, but it's one of those things where it's like, I didn't know there was a sequel. I just happened to come across it. I was like, okay, I'll give this a watch. And I sat there and watched it, and I was like, well, that was something.
Yeah.
We here at the Graveyard Club podcast definitely do not endorse watching The Fly 2.
No, definitely watch The Fly 1 because holy shit. So yeah, two sci-fi movies from 1986 have 40th anniversaries this month. The Fly was one, and Howard the Duck was the other. One of them is definitely worth watching. the other one is Howard
the Duck, definitely 100%.
If you want to watch the knock off the mosquito, do so at your own risk.
Oh, fuck.
That's a joke. I don't think there is actually a film named the Mosquito.
It wouldn't surprise me if there was.
Yeah, I'm surprised Asylum hasn't put one out.
Well, they haven't done a remake of The Fly yet for the present day.
You can't remake it. I'm telling you, it's perfect.
They keep remaking The Thing.
Yeah. You can't there's no fat on that bone for The Fly, man. It starts out in mid-scene, and it's 96 minutes, and there's never a wasted moment in that movie. It's literally perfect.
I saw Repo Man a couple weeks ago.
That's a good flick.
That's
Last episode, I was wearing the Circle Jerks shirt. I got that. It was a concert, Circle Jerks, and then it was a Q&A with one of the actors, Keith Morris, singer of the Circle Jerks, and director Alex Cox, talking about, like they were asking them about, the movie and everything, and like how it got made, things, and then they did the movie afterwards. So it was actually really cool. And we also got the announcement of Repo Man 2.
That's cool. Alex Cox wrote a crazy script for a Godzilla movie and submitted it to Toho in like the 90s.
Why didn't we fund this?
If you could find it, it's completely bonkers. Like a lot of it takes place in Godzilla's dream as Godzilla's asleep.
All right, I need to find this.
No, I streamed it into the Discord. I forget the name of the movie. The day Mars invaded Earth. I'm sure Zontarr knows this one. It was crap. Bryan, you watched it with me, didn't you?
Yeah, it was
brutal.
It was interesting.
Great matchup.
Yeah, that was, and you were dead right, Zontarr. I didn't even like Marie Windsor in it. The house
And
stole the show.
Here's the pool. And here's the kitchen.
Did we see any good movies? We're talking about have you seen any bad movies? I know you have, Randy.
Zontarr only watches bad movies, but yeah.
I'm sorry. So do I.
I fall asleep to Mystery Science Theater 3000 every night, and I wake up and it's still playing. So I'm subconsciously constantly watching bad movies.
There's bad movies, and then there's movies that Fiend was after showing me. Children of the Living Dead. I didn't even know it was a thing. I think we need to do an episode on just ripping that movie.
Yeah. I'm game for that episode.
Let's do that.
Make it one of the Halloween season episodes, just so we can rip it apart in October.
Just the full movie is up on YouTube, so it's not like anyone cared to copyright a movie like that. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go there.
Well, here's the funny thing.
I mean, if it's free on YouTube, we could watch it and talk over it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
bro, I can tell you right now. By him saying it's free on YouTube, that should tell you what you're getting into.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah. Oh yeah.
This is a bad movie. I might talk a lot of games like, yeah, man, this is a bad movie. Like, I can have fun with a bad movie. There are scenes in this movie that just you watch and you're like, what level of competency was behind the camera? Because I've seen worms with chromosome removal make better movies than this. And it's not, and the sad thing is, it's not the director's fault.
I played the video game adaptation of Manos: The Hands of Fate not too long ago, literally on Wednesday. Do we want to do the original Manos film, or No, because
That's a
I've
bad
never
movie.
seen
Yeah,
it.
sure. It's terrible, but sure.
Yeah, the giant claw, the robot monster, the screaming skull. They all probably would have made the film better.
I would rather watch Robot Monster.
I'd rather watch the giant claw. The whole reason I got in the game was so I could do
Biggest
battle with the giant
No
claw.
one's defending the screaming skull here, and I like it.
She just died like 2 days ago.
Who did?
The actress from the Screaming Skull.
Really?
Oh.
Wow.
She was 101.
Oh, jeez.
Amazing. I like that film.
Rip.
Judy Garland's stunt woman from Wizard of Oz just turned 107.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Shit.
The
Guess they
only
didn't
Liz-
apply with methamphetamine.
only 100. She's the only Wizard of Oz person left. She's only, she's.
Yeah, because all the munchkins are gone now.
I think all the Munchkins went finally. Yeah.
Yeah, for a few years. They used to have the parade in Chesterton, Indiana, and all that.
Yeah.
Still one of my favourite movies in general.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, should be in everyone's top
Sure.
10, I think. Maybe top 15.
I mean, we do have that on the Google Doc under the gory gimmicks section category, along with 1925's The Lost World and House of Wax from 1953 and Rasputin the Mad Monk.
Like, in terms of Torty's movies, The Wizard of Oz shits on everything. As much as, like, the Torty's is my favourite period for cinema.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz technically does shit on anything that came out in that decade. That's how good it is. I do prefer movies over it, but technically it does.
The fact that people think that it was made in the 50s astounds me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks
Well, it's
better than a lot of
because-
movies from the
It's
50s.
because of the color process. It's
Yeah,
the Technicolor process.
That's
Everyone
great.
looks at that. When you think of Technicolor, a lot of people think of like the movies from the 50s. Just how vibrant
or
color.
something. Yeah.
I'll always stand by the argument that a good, well done practical effect will stand the test of time over shitty CGI. Like CGI from the 90s looks like such shit, except with certain exceptions like Jurassic Park and Men in Black. But if you look at like Spawn or any of the movies
I'd rather
of
not.
that caliber, it's like you're like watching a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah.
Bro,
Level of
how
CGI.
was the CGI better in the 1999 Mummy movie than the sequel?
Yeah, exactly. Or like the Scorpion King, where the CGI for the Rock and the Scorpion King is so bad.
My favorite, but honestly, as bad as the CGI Scorpion King Dwayne the Rock Johnson is at the Mummy Returns, it's still got my favorite scene in that franchise is when Dwayne he gets stabbed by the spear or whatever, and he realizes it, and there's just silence, and then just out of nowhere, Arnold Boosler just runs out. He's like, "Ah!" like you forgot to run it.
But in a movie like The Wizard of Oz, it still looks good when you watch it. You can understand like how they, or you can have like a concept of how they got the effect done. But that's fine because it still looks good. You know, you can be like, well, I kind of have a grasp of how they did that. Whereas with just bad CGI, it just looks like shit. It doesn't matter if I have a grasp of it. Yeah, some guy programmed this into a computer that couldn't handle what he was telling it to do, so it looks like garbage. You know, like that's why The Fly, again, go back to The Fly, the effects in that movie hold up so well because
they're practical
effects, and like you know, you can understand like, yeah, that's a guy in a mask or whatever, but it's or that's a puppet at the end, but you know, I don't know.
I mean,
it's our Lord and Savior Jeff Goldblum.
Speaking of The Rock, take a look at Lee's 3D printed things with The Rock's face. Rockamus Prime and Drain the Sus Johnson.
That's cursed.
Imagine, hey,
Robin,
I saw these. I saw these things in person. How do you think I feel about them?
Oh God, you saw them in We're getting secondhand cringe. No.
We might have to delete them, bro.
You might have to abandon this channel.
Yeah.
That's the last I was gonna see.
God damn. Speaking of the Discord, though, I'm going to leave a link for the viewers if anyone hasn't joined it yet. Make sure you do. We're near 50 members. Again, being infiltrated by a few scammers here and there. But I've recruited Bryan, your trusty sidekick, as a moderator. So you better watch out for him. Because I think it makes good sense because we're both on different time zones. Obviously, I'm in Ireland, Bryan's in Canada. 24-hour policing of the Discord. Nobody's safe. But I'll leave a link down there if people want to join. If you're a fan of classic horror, classic film, kaiju, sci-fi, it's a good place. Good place to come. Next week, Bryan, we're talking about your pick, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, I believe.
Directed by Kenneth Branagh, also starring him, because he was inspired by Laurence Olivier, who did the same thing, directing and starring in the films he did. And also has Robert De Niro as the monster.
Interesting.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this one either. I know exactly
I remember
what
seeing
it
It's been a
is.
long time since I've seen it, and I have to try to find it somewhere.
Yeah, Kenneth
call
Branagh directed a whole lot of things. He's famous for his Shakespeare adaptations. He directed the film Dead Again. He
Directed Thor.
Yeah, he directed the first Thor film. He directed the Cinderella remake. He directed the recent Hercule Poirot films. He directed Belfast. He directed Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit. He's got more diversity than some directors these days.
I refer to the
The
movie as
Danny
De
DeVito
Niro
of drama.
style. And maybe some
where-
people didn't care for Bobby's performance, but I was all about it. De Niro style.
Where can we
Yeah.
find this movie? Is it streaming, I assume, somewhere?
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
All right, let me get my time machine. Go rent it.
And your little blue laminated card.
Yeah. I probably owe late fees.
So
Yeah.
you're the reason they went bankrupt.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
We'll cut this part out of the podcast. Don't worry.
Blockbuster's gonna knock at my door later.
I'll go ahead, man.
It's a very good film. I know that some people might find it a bit different, but personally, I like it.
It's one of my favorite adaptations. I would say I would place it above the Del Toro movie, but that's just mainly in terms of the story. As for like a lot of the effects, I think both are very, very good films.
Yeah.
Don't let me oversell it now, but a little bit of similarity between De Niro portraying Frankenstein. Would I never thought of this before, but for this conversation, not too far apart in time. Little bit of similarity to Goldblum on The Fly.
Let's maybe save it for next week,
Oh, yeah.
or we'll be talking about a different movie.
We're gonna be doing a double feature on the podcast.
And that'll wrap up. And then next month, so I feel like if we can pick themes for each month, I think that could be a good direction to go. Next month, obviously, is H.G. Wells.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
H.G. Wells for next month.
Gonna do Food of the Gods.
No, we're gonna cover the
Everybody's
Village
like,
of the
"Fuck no."
Giants.
Maybe.
I'm a fan, such as it is.
We'll see.
Margaret Brutner.
Is it, what does that tell you about me that my first H.G. Wells thought is Food of the Gods
Yeah.
and not War of the Worlds?
Well,
Let's
my
talk
first
about
thought
the
would be
real
like-
H.G. Wells movie, time after time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Jeez, I do a lot for this
He did the time
podcast,
machine, right?
like thinking things up.
yeah.
He did the time machine, correct? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The First Man in the Moon was H.G. Wells as well, wasn't it? Yeah. That's a fun Ray Harryhausen.
That was a good one. I liked it, and it's a pretty good Harryhausen film.
Yeah. The effects. Once they get to the moon, though, I feel like that movie just a million times gets better. I love the little build up to it. Not to review it right now, real quickly, but once you get to the moon, it's such a nice classic sci-fi movie.
It's a bit too bad Harryhausen's War of the Worlds never got made.
I'd seen the footage from that, and honestly, it's like, I think he would have done. I don't think it would have beat the movie that we got, but I think it would have been still a great film.
So we're going to review the Ice Cube War of the Worlds, right?
No.
Has anyone been to the Ray Harryhausen Museum?
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
I have not.
It's cringe.
Yeah, there's a Ray Harryhausen Museum.
Where's the Ray? I would love to go to the Ray Harryhausen Museum. That'd be cool.
Isn't it in Scotland?
No, it's in the States somewhere, Chris.
Oh.
Yeah, I just seen a couple of months ago, James Rolfe was at it. I'm not sure if it's like a little pop-up sort of thing and it moves to locations, but he did go to it, and you'd be surprised the amount of like puppets and figurines that are actually still in perfect quality. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I'm about an hour from the Three Stooges Museum, which I went and visited a few years ago, and it's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Well, that was War of the Gargantuas. A fun kaiju movie, a lot better than the previous movie. Not much of a Frankenstein type of movie, but still kind of counts in a way. So, if you made it this far, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube, rate if you're on Spotify, and check out the hosts on the panel here today. We're going to go through them right now. Bryan, tell the folks where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on YouTube. I game. Today I started the game Return of the Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a Phantom of the Opera point-and-click adventure game. With time travel, too. I'm currently streaming Chrono Trigger, and of course I'll be streaming that tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EST. I do readings. I'm currently reading The Travels of Marco Polo, and I am reacting to Are You Afraid of the Dark Universe?
Which has been a great series, Bryan, I have to admit. Great stuff out there, man. Folks, make sure you're going down and checking out Bryan's channel. Pretty much uploading daily, so make sure you go over there and check it out. Chris, Mr. C, where can we find you?
Well, before I plug myself, let me say one of our off-camera members of the Graveyard Club, Ken's has the flu, so we're hoping Ken's feels better. Now I'll hang out in Reddit on the Svengoolie group and in the other, a whole bunch of other Reddit spots. But Mr. C dives in on
you're the
YouTube.
guy from the Reddit group. I apologize. I didn't realize that's who you are. Holy shit!
Flattery, sir. Flattery.
Yeah, you've tagged me in things before for the Godzilla stuff. I'm Bryzilla.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I did not realize that's who you were.
Well, that's what it's all about, community building. So that's a lot of what I try to do on my channel is build and participate in community. But again, coming soon, when I'm clowning around, I got the independent movie Vampire Zombies from Space to review again soon, and I'll have all the flashback horror convention keeps getting further in the rearview mirror, but eventually I will get my recap of the flashback. Also check out terrordaves.com for the blog. Dave should have his review of Flashback Horror Con up real soon. That's all I got.
Sweet. Make sure you check out Mr. C down below. So, Fubi, where can we find you, man?
On YouTube, I am Sofubi Samurai. I'm about to attempt to review. I bought a bundle of 10 knockoff Godzilla figures that I'm going to open and review blind, and they look terrible. So we'll see how that goes. And then I have a podcast called Gen X Lounge, which you can find wherever you listen to podcasts. And our new episode will be out Monday the 24th, and that will be the 40th anniversary of The Fly, as well as a bunch of other stuff like that.
I still gotta come on there.
I know. I'll get you on. And I also do a Coffee and Kaiju stream once a month. I believe this month we're going to do Shin Godzilla because it is it's crazy to think, but it's the 10-year anniversary of Shin Godzilla, and that will probably be next Sunday.
Hell yeah. So folks, make sure you're going out checking out Sofubisitdown's channel. Links are all below, so description's very important. Make sure you're checking them out. And yeah, thanks for the other folks. Inivisdaddy, you can check him out over in the Classic Horror Fans Discord if you want to chat to the other host. Zontarr is over there. And of course, Being Without a Face is over there. Yeah, that's it for today, folks. Next week, we're going to be talking about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, starring Robert De Niro's the monster. That's going to be a weird one. Can't really picture him being a decent monster, to be honest, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, if you want to think about what National Theatre did with their Frankenstein play, with it being Johnny Lee Miller as the monster one night, and then him playing Frankenstein, and the other night it would be Benedict Cumberbatch as Frankenstein, and the other night it would be Benedict Cumberbatch as the monster. Maybe don't picture a 51-year-old Robert De Niro playing Frankenstein.
It's going to be interesting. But yeah, folks, thanks for if you made it this far. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, right over on Spotify. Check out the other hosts, join the Discord, and thanks for watching, and thanks for the panel. Thanks for the lads for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye,
everybody.
Oh, lost Randy.
Oh, everybody left.
No, I'm still here.
I'm still here.
All right, guys.
I am Dracula.